and they say, God, only you can do this. So when do we get so bold as to start praying out loud? It may be a spiritual gift that you ask for. If you want it bad enough, and you pray boldly enough and out loud enough, guess what's going to happen? But yet, the oohs and the ahs of the Christian walk just kind of seem to go away. And that's kind of the way we like it. Jeremiah 29:11 and following. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. Verse 12. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me, and when you seek me with all of your heart, I will be found by you, declares the Lord. See, we forget verse 12 because we're so liking 29:11 because it's the whole Christian thing and it makes us feel good. Let me say this to you. If the vision in your life is not intimidating to you, it's insulting to God. If the vision in your life that God is trying to give you does not intimidate you, then it insults Him. Well, you can't say that. How is God insulted by me? Because of your lack of faith. Do you think for 1 minute, for 1 second, that I thought I was cool enough and new enough and special enough to step out of my house and to say we got to go someplace else? Because I fought it and I fought it and I fought it. And finally I got to a place to where I was enough. It was okay for me to speak out boldly and say, I can't do this. Sun, stand still. And then look across the board. I mean, look at you. And you're here not because of me, but you're here because of Him. But you got to be bold enough to go, okay, I'm going to put it out there. I'm okay to look like an idiot, because you know what? He's not going to let me look like one. I do a pretty good job of that on my own. But when I call out His name, and I do it boldly, sun, stand still. Rain down fire. He ain't going to leave me hanging. What we ask, what you ask, what I ask for God is a direct reflection of what you believe His ability is. Or what you believe His character is. Or what you believe His nature is. Or His capacity. I don't think God can do this. So, what impossible thing in your life do you need to pray for? What impossible thing in our lives as a church body do we need to pray for? Because I'm telling you now, this ain't all He's got for us. And if you think so, then you're missing the mark. Because He's taking a bunch of people just like us and He is going to change the face of Christianity through people like us because we're bold enough to say, sun, stand still. And expect that He's going to answer. Does it stir up your hope or your belief? Does it stir you up in any way to think, yeah, He can do this? Because you should look around. Look around. Look at the baptisms in the last 12 months. Look at the new people who come and they go, hey, it's not the same kind of church that I thought it was. Yeah, you're right, because it's His. It's not society's church, it's God's church. And God's people are leading it. And there's things going on all around that are affecting people's lives and they're changing people's lives. And you don't think the sun stands still every day. It stands still every day. Here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker. Go back and look at verse 9. This was after the promise to Joshua. After an all-night march from Gilgal, Joshua took them by surprise. God gave the victory, but what did He expect of Joshua? What did Joshua have to do? He still had to fight the battle. We think that just because God has given us victory, that life's going to cruise and He doesn't want us to go through. No. He wants us to fight the battle. And Joshua was willing to march 25 miles to go into the battle. So, I'm going to close with this. If you're going to pray that God will make the sun stand still, you better be ready to march. And you march all night if that's what He's asked you to do. Not so that you earn His favor or His merit or His love, because those are things that we cannot earn. But because He always involves your faith and your works. He always involves your faith and your works before He can supernaturally bring grace to your life. So here's what I ask. Number one, that you are as passionate about the boldness of prayer as what He wants you to be. Because I don't think Satan wanted this message to be taught this morning, because he's been trying to kick my backside for about the past 2 days. Victory's already won. I just got to fight the battle, right? But no conversation before we go. No questions, no thoughts. But I wanted to bother you all week. I want you to be challenged and stirred up all week. Because bottom line is that we pray dumb prayers a lot of the time. And we don't push Him. And how can He show up if we don't expect? Is this really all He wants for your life? I mean, are you honestly at the pinnacle of what you can possibly do for Him? Think about it. Roland? Is this the best it's ever going to be with you? Is right here? Shelley? The people that you're reaching through the Story Cafe, is that it for you? Tristan? Was it good enough just to invite Lexi and her family to come? Is it okay for you guys to have been here for just a short amount of time and then leave us and then do whatever God has for you down the road? Was it good enough? Is this it?
It was good, but not good.
You betcha. You betcha. And you know what? Those of us that are going through things that we think that are completely impossible, bring them on. Bring them on. And you be bold enough to stand in front of other people and say, "Son, stand still. The prayer ain't right. It don't make sense. I'm asking you to do something that is physically impossible, but you're going to show up." Because there's a beautiful thing called vision. And when you seek it, He gives it to you. Let me just tell you that this is not all I see. From a guy just like me.